It's time for children's story. It's time for children's story. Let's give God all the glory. It's time for children's story. We come to sit and listen and hear a Bible lesson. Let's give God all the glory. It's time for children's story. Come and listen, come and listen, come and listen. It's time for children's story. Come and listen, come and listen, come and listen. It's time for children's story.
Can you guess what we are talking about today? You drink it, you ride on it, you swim in it, you bathe in it. What do you think that we're talking about today? Yes, water. For the rest of the month, we are going to talk about God's creation. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 6 through 10, it reads, "Then God said, 'Let there be something to divide the water in two.' So God made the air to divide the water in two. Some of the water was above the air, and some of the water was below it. God named the air sky. Evening passed, and the morning came. This was the second day. Then God said, 'Let the water under the sky be gathered together, so the dry land will appear.' And it happened. God named the dry land earth. He named the water that was gathered together seas. God saw that this was good." God made oceans. Oceans are areas of salty water that fill large amounts of the Earth's surface. Around 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by oceans. Earth has one continuous body of salt water, but scientists and geographers divide it into 5 different sections. Oceans are deep and wide. On average, an ocean is a little over 2 miles deep. In the Pacific Ocean, the water in the Mariana Trench is almost 7 miles deep. That's the deepest part of the ocean. Oceans help keep the Earth's climate livable. By moving water around the globe, the oceans help to keep places from getting too hot or too cold. Oceans also help keep the planet warm. In the same way that hot water in a bathtub stays warm longer than hot water in a small cup, the large amount of warm water stores heat in the ocean. Then ocean currents carry the heat around the planet. Without oceans, the Earth would be an icy rock. Scientists estimate that about 1 million species of animals live in the ocean. Some of the smallest animals on Earth can be found in the ocean. Sea animals like zooplankton are so small you can see them only with a microscope. Big fish swim through these waters too, such as great white sharks, manta rays, and ocean sunfish. The largest animal ever to live on Earth is an ocean mammal called the blue whale. It's as long as 2 school buses. Dolphins, porpoises, and sea lions are also ocean-living animals. The ocean has a lot of plant life. Most are tiny algae called phytoplankton, and these tiny microscopic plants have a big job. Through photosynthesis, they make about half of the oxygen that humans and other land-living creatures breathe. Bigger algae, like seaweed and kelp, also grow in the sea and provide food and shelter for marine animals. Scientists estimate that we've only explored 5% of the ocean. Did you know the words ocean and sea are often used to mean the same thing? A sea, however, is a small area of an ocean, usually with land on several sides. The Mediterranean, nestled between Africa and Europe, the Baltic, in northern and central Europe, and the Caribbean, between North, Central, and South America, are all seas. Did you know that water is mentioned over 700 times in the Bible? That must mean it's important. Micah chapter 7, verse 19 talks about how God will conquer our sins and throw away all of our sins into the deepest part of the sea. If we come to God and ask honestly for forgiveness for the things that we do that are not nice and don't show that we follow Him, He will forgive us by throwing away our sins to no longer be remembered again. We have a chance to be made new in Jesus. I hope that you can remember that. Just like God created the waters, He created you. Isn't that awesome? You were created by the one who made everything that we see today. As we learn more about creation, remember to thank God for all of it, especially water. Have a good week.